Good morning guys. We're back at it again. Another video. This is definitely one of the most exciting times of my entire life because I've spent the last year and 3 months of my life working on this place to get it to this point here. We're ready for drywall. Our roughing is completely done, and that is exciting because finishing, woo! Love finishing, because that means we're going to be moving in pretty darn soon. All right, I'm going to do a full layout and walkthrough of the entire house and just kind of explaining everything. I know I posted a video showing what I did in terms of just some time lapses, but you're not really going to understand anything from that video. So I'll walk through this entire house. I don't know how long it's going to be, so you might need to grab a beer, smoke a J, whatever you need to do. Let's do it. So let's start at the front door. Reminder for everyone, use the patio door. All right, so when you first come in here, there will be a scene selector. There will be 2 other switches for outdoor lights and for the pot lights in here. But one thing with using smart lighting switches and stuff is the scene selectors are pretty cool. So you can basically pick a spot here at an entrance way, at an exit way, or where you're going to be going into bed, and have scene selectors at all 3 of those places, which is what we're doing here. So the scene selector with smart lighting is so that you can basically you can have predetermined scenes in terms of which lights are going to come on and off. So it's usually like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all off. So that's always good to have right at the front door here. So as you walk in, you can hit all your switches here. So as we walk in, beautiful open area here. So this is the kitchen space here. We got cabinet, sink, dishwasher, 15-inch cabinet, and the fridge. So I've got basically a dedicated circuit here for the fridge. We've got a water box down there. So I put this box behind the fridge so that I can always pull wires going into the island here. So that's where those 3 conduits end up. Those will end up in a pony wall on the back of the cabinets. So whenever I'm roughing in a kitchen, or whenever anyone should really be roughing in a kitchen nowadays, is that you want to use 20 amp receptacles here. So we've got one 20 amp here, so you can tell by the yellow wire, 20 amp. We've also got a garbage disposal switch. And what I like to do under the sink here is to do a split receptacle. So the top half will be for the dishwasher and the bottom half will be for the garbage disposal. So we want those split, so there will be 2 separate circuits. So I ran a 12-3 wire for that underneath there. And just for everyone that's going to start leaving comments about this, just because we have a garbage disposal doesn't mean that we can't also compost our food at the same time. The 2 are not mutually exclusive. So I've also got another receptacle under here, which is also going to have one hot, basically a constant hot on the top, and then on the bottom is going to be where I'm going to plug in the under cabinet lighting here. So we'll have an LED driver and stuff under the sink, and that'll be for some upper cabinets that are going right here. And we've got another 20 amp receptacle right there. So these 2 kitchen receptacles, they are on the same circuit. So that's one 20 amp circuit for both of these guys here. Coming into the pantry, we'll have a switch here for the 2 main pot lights, and then another switch here. I'm trying to figure out with the built-in pantry cabinetry that we got going on. I'll have a way to basically light up either the top of the cabinets or inside the cabinets. I've just got an outlet there so that I can put an LED driver on top of the cabinets and then plug it in. And then what else? We got the same kind of thing going on right here. So we'll have a constant outlet, so an outlet that's just hot all the time, because I may be putting our modem and some of our network gear right up here. So that's why you see a lot of these network cables going on. So we'll have a switch receptacle and then a regular receptacle, because I'm going to have that equipment up there. And then this is how I'll be able to still get some wires basically through the drop ceiling in that half bath, just through that low voltage plaster box there. In the pantry here, it might seem odd that we're going to have receptacles in here, but we've got another 20 amp circuit for this guy to run these 2 receptacles. One main reason being is that we're going to put a shelf at 36 inches. So if we want to put our Instant Pot or a rice cooker in here, or another appliance that we're not going to be using very often, but say it's on the keep warm function, we can move it into here and then it's just going to stay right here. So coming out to here, in this little nook that we got, we're going to have a couple floating shelves right here. We'll have basically a receptacle right here so that we can always charge our phones and stuff. We're also going to have the Google Hub. That's going to be right here. And then we'll have a router down here for our Wi-Fi connection. So that's why, again, we've got some network cables coming down into here. And then we've just got a standard receptacle right there. All right, coming over here. So I've got some lighting controls here. So which one is this? So this one is for the sconce. So you can start to see how many sconces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sconces just in this room right here. So one thing that we're really trying to do here is to create like a really good ambient lighting, definitely in the evening time. We don't really like a lot of overhead lights on. So having sconces and having LED lights or LED strip lights in certain places is where we're going to get the majority of our lighting during the evening time. Very cool. So with those sconces, we got that right there. Then we're going to have basically over the island here, we're going to have a cool hanging strut light. So I'll figure out what I'm doing here, but I got the box up there for it. So we'll have probably some threaded rod or something like that coming down from the ceiling to some unistrut, and then we'll hang some lights from that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then what's this? So then this is also the switch for the under cabinet lighting over there. So right here we've got a switch for the dining room. So we'll have a nice table here, and then we've got where the hanging light is going to go. One other cool thing with this is that you see this duct that's sticking out. So there's going to be exposed duct that is going to go around here, and is going to come out over here and shoot across that main room there. And also in the pantry, if you notice this guy, there's going to be, this piece of duct is going to come straight out this way. So that's one reason why I had to kind of space these pot lights to either side of the ductwork. So we have a big piece of hanging duct that's going to come out right out to about this area here. So that is going to look so badass. Let's see what else we got going on here. So going out to the patio, another scene selector, and then we'll have a light switch for basically outdoor lights in here. So when I'm doing something like this, and I ran a 3-wire out so that I have my switch line, and then I also have constant power, because if I'm going to be running other things out in the deck area, I've at least got constant power in that box so I can hook up other things. We've also got some outdoor speakers right here that are roughed in. Outdoor receptacle. I put outdoor receptacles on 20 amp circuits. So we've got that receptacle right there, 20 amp, and it's tied in with this guy right here. And then we've got our 2 hose bibs. So we've got a hot and we've got a cold. And we got that receptacle. This is kind of like the main living area here. So there'll be a couch here, maybe a table, a coffee table kind of thing. But we just got some general receptacles down there. And then right in this space here, the reason why the foam is all cut out is because we're going to have some nice in-wall speakers right there. So we've got some in-wall speakers right there. And then we've also got, in the dining area, we'll have some ceiling speakers. So there's one there, and then there's one right there where that wire is all coiled up right on. So coming into the half bath, you can see there is a lot going on in here. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a drop ceiling in here. So I always have access basically going in the mechanical room behind it right there. But you can see this is where I brought all of my wires down to go into the back of this 12 by 12 junction box. So I've just got everything going into the back. These are some wires that I've already pulled and getting prepped and ready to go into the kitchen. But other than that, it's a kind of a little bit different working in here because I know there's a drop ceiling, so I can kind of run my pipes and wires throughout the air. So you can come in, you'll just have vanity or vanity light. You'll have the fan switch here. Even though the fans are going to be completely automatic, you should still always put them on a switch. Simple 15 amp GFCI half bath. I'm not worried about putting this GFCI on a dedicated circuit or anything like that because it's hardly ever going to be used. We've got a wall mount valve, and I've already got our bracket in place here for a concrete vanity that we're going to be putting in here. So other than that, inside of here, there's a lot going on, but I like having access to things. So doing a drop ceiling in here is definitely going to make things easier if I need to change things in the future. Sweet. All right, so then right over here, I'll have a scene selector here that, you know, when we're going into bed, this is the master bedroom, we can turn all the lights off, choose another scene or something like that. I've also got a place for a switch here for the big ass fan. So we're getting an actual legit big ass fan right up there. And then I'll also have a 3-way for the sconces right here. When you're doing smart switches, doing 3 ways is completely different. You don't need to basically wire it for a 3-way because of how they work. So it's actually very easy to add in 3 ways when you're doing smart switches and stuff like that. Got a couple sconces right here, thermostats going right there. There's actually 4 thermostats in this house. We're also going to have a really nice, beautiful custom wood credenza with a vinyl record player on top. So I've got some of my speaker cables and network cables roughed into here. So that'll be nice and clean to get that all finished. Right in the entryway, under the stairs, these are temporary stairs. This is not what's going inside the house. Hannah's got something figured out for like a lamp and a chair, and this is where we're going to put like our shoes and our jackets and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty dope, eh? All right, let's go in to the bedroom here. So basically the bed is going to be centered on this wall here. As you walk in, you've got a switch here for basically the sconces that are over basically the nightstands there. And then we have a switch here, oh yeah, for these 2 sconces right here. So you can see there's not really any overhead lights. Well, there's actually none. That's a smoke detector. There's no overhead lights in here. So we're mainly focused on low visible light. We don't like a lot of overhead light here. These boxes here will have a switch and a receptacle. And I might be wondering, why are these so low? Because typically with a receptacle that we put next to a bedstand, the receptacle would be this low, but we put the switch higher. If you see the bed that's going in here, this will make a lot more sense because it's a really, really low bed. So that's why we have the receptacle and the switch for the sconces, which will be on a 3-way as well, so that when we're in bed, we can turn all the lights off in this room just from sitting right here. Everything will also be voice command as well. So I think we'll have a voice command in the bedroom here. So if we wanted to turn off all the lights without getting out of bed, we can do that. So just some general receptacles there. Nothing too bad. Another thermostat here for the bedroom. So there's only 4 zones in this house, only 4. So I've got a light here, or a switch for, we'll have some pot lights in the, this is the master closet. And then I've also got another switch here for some, on top of the cabinetry work, I think I might do some LED strip lights, something like that. But that's pretty much what's going on inside of here. And we're also going to be doing a drop ceiling in here as well, so that the guys can always get access to this, and I can always get access to any of the plumbing shutoffs or anything like that. I mean, that conduit there, you can see that box there. I could pull wires from the other side of the house if I wanted to over to this area. So if I ever needed to pull any circuits for anything, I can do so. All right, coming into the master bath. Beautiful, beautiful. Switch for the vanity, switch for the pot light over the showers, or pot lights over the shower, and fan switch right there. So in a bathroom, I like to run 20 amp circuits for it, because if someone's plugging in a blow dryer, curling iron, and it's using a lot of electricity, you don't really want to be tripping circuits too much. But we've already got our brackets in place here for a concrete floating vanity. wall mount valve for the sink there. And we've got our plumbing drain, all good, all good. So one thing that is gonna be really cool that I'm gonna do in here is that there are special outlets that pop in and out, but the problem with them is that they look really cool, but you cannot find them and be GFCI protected. So we're gonna do like a little electrician's trick here. So I'm gonna put the GFCI for these two receptacles, I'm gonna put it right here. So on the load side of that GFCI, we can actually protect 2 more outlets. So that's how we're going to get away with having really beautiful outlets here, but also have them GFCI protected. A little trickster. All right, vanity light. Basically right from here to about here. We haven't decided on the exact width of the glass yet, probably 38 or 40 inches. So there'll be a big piece of glass for a shower, and we'll have like probably a 12-inch down rod with a big shower head on it. It is gonna be so cool, and you can see got some wires up there for some canless LED lights, or pot lights, can lights, whatever you guys call them. We've got our thermostatic mixing valve here for the shower. So running this out the bottom so that basically when this turns on, you don't have to hit the little button on it to make the water go out, because it's a tub/shower valve. So if you just plumb it the other way, then it will automatically turn on the shower without having to hit the button. And then in here, I don't know exactly how we're going to finish this off yet. It might be tile, it might be something else, but then we've got some niches or whatever you guys call them built into the shower here. So, you know, for soap and, you know, stuff like that. We got it. We got it, guys. Bathroom fan centered right over the toilet. Toilet's all roughed in. We're all good to go. All right, all right. Exciting times, guys. Exciting times. Let's go back out here. So this staircase, the staircase that we're putting in here, I already have it. It's just sitting in the garage right now. We'll get it in after paint is done. But there's gonna be some special things going on with this staircase. So it's gonna light up, and this is gonna be a proximity sensor. So the stairs are essentially going to light up as you walk up to the stairs. So you don't have to hit any switches or anything like that. And that proximity sensor will be on a 3-way with this proximity sensor right here. A little electrician's trick on how to get a box in the edge there on something like that. You don't have a stud? No problem, no problem. This proximity sensor and the lights for this will also turn on with 2 sconces right here. So you never have to really hit a switch. And what's nice about that is, like, if you're walking out of this in the evening or walking up the stairs or going down the stairs or something like that, you're always going to have a lit pathway, and you're not gonna really need to hit anything, which is always really cool. So coming into, this is gonna be my office. Nothing too crazy going on in here. We'll have 1 switch for floor lamps in either corner there. And then another switch. I've got some pot lights, some wires roughed in for some can lights here, the canless lights, or the ones that don't have the housing. But what I do with floor lamps here is I run 3-wire for this so that I can have basically one side of the receptacle to be switched and one side of it to be hot. So those 2 receptacles there are just like that. I know where my desk is gonna go, and we're not gonna have it up against the wall. We're gonna act like we're CEOs and badasses, so we're gonna have the desk right in the middle. And I've already got a hole cut, and I've got some wires roughed in, a network cable, and a hot wire, or like a Romex wire, for basically a floor box right here. So to power computer and stuff like that, I'll have a direct network connection to our router, and I don't have to run wires coming from the edge of the wall there. It'll be coming up right up through the floor into the desk. Super clean, badass. Now this is the closet in the office here. So I've got some lights, some canless lights roughed in, and I just put a random amount of receptacles here. 6 seemed pretty good to me. We'll have, printers, charging for cameras, that kind of stuff will be going on inside of here. So it's better just to put in as many receptacles as you can. And I had to just build some blocking there, or a soffit there for that stuff going out into the crawl space above the entryway. Now let's go into the bathroom here. Same kind of dealio. Light, fan, that same kind of thing. So again, GFCI here, going to be 20 amp on this circuit or on this side of the house. We've got our wall mount valve. We've got our vanity light here roughed in. So when I'm roughing in pancake boxes like this, you can only have 2 wires coming into it, but I don't pull the wire all the way through, because when the drywallers go around with their rotozip, they're most likely going to come from the center and they will hit your wires. Speaking from experience here. So I just leave it just a little bit so that afterwards I can pull all the wires through. So then we've got our bracket here for another concrete vanity going on right here. And we're going to have a tub in here with a drain. Well, obviously with a drain. And we've got the mixing valve for it right here. So if Hannah wants to take a bath, she'll be able to take a bath. And then if you want to take a shower, you'll also be able to take a shower. And then we got the wires roughed in for some LED, so for some can lights going over top of there. There she is. Thanks for joining in on the channel.
I know, you guys haven't seen me in forever.
No, we haven't. All right. You have been.
My office.
This is Hannah's office. So we've got floor lamp right there, floor lamp right there. So we'll have a switch for that, and then a switch for, I roughed in some can lights or some lights here, some overhead lights, just in case you want to really brighten it up. Framed out the soffit here, so there'll be a drop ceiling underneath here, so that the guys will always have access to this here. And then I've also got some other wires roughed in just for some potential future stuff here. And then just to get the drywall up high enough to get above this level, just had to frame out a soffit there. Yeah, looking pretty good. Hannah's got a floor box too. How cool is that?
There's my idea, because I was like, how boss does it seem if you put your desk like facing the room?
Totally.
Like facing the wall. I feel like it just makes you feel like a boss. I'll be like, people will come into my office, I'll be like, sit down at my desk.
Sit down at my desk.
Yeah, like come have a seat, let's have a meeting.
Sweet deal. So we've got this proximity sensor here, which does, like I said, the sconces and the stairs. And now there's another proximity sensor that's going to be right here. So as you walk past this, these 4 sconces are automatically going to turn on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, your walkway is just automatically lit up. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll have another 3-way for those sconces right here with a proximity sensor. So if we're in the entertainment area and we're walking back, say you got to go to the bathroom, you want to go to the kitchen, these lights will automatically turn back on. So this is going to be the wet bar area. So we've got, you should always lay out your cabinets and all that kind of stuff on the ground here. It just makes everything a lot easier. So we've got a 15-inch cabinet, we've got a 30-inch beverage fridge, sink cabinet, regular cabinet, 24-inch kegerator. Oh yeah. One thing that I like to do with fridges, which I did do it with the fridge down there, is the fridge down there is on its own circuit. I believe that's actually a code. It's a good idea to always have a fridge on its own circuit, but these 2 beverage fridges are also on their own dedicated circuit. We've also got some 20 amp receptacles here on the countertop. We're gonna have some floating shelves right here. So I've already got some wire roughed in for the LEDs that I'm gonna probably put in the bottom of it. And then we'll have a couple more right here as well. Boom, boom, wires roughed in. Those wires go, boom, right under the sink here. So we've got another receptacle here with the 3 wires. So one will be constant power all the time. The other one will be switched for the LED lights. Cool deal. So the entertainment area here, we've got 1 sconce right there, one sconce right there that is switched by this guy. Those might be on a smart switch. They'll definitely be on a dimmer, but we'll see how she goes. So we'll have one kind of big couch coming out here. TV, have kind of like a credenza kind of thing down here. You can see I've got a lot of speaker wires roughed into right here. That's what these white guys are. And then we've got a network cable as well. So at any point where we have a computer, a router, audio equipment, I got a Cat6 wire running to all those places, and they're all going back into the mechanical room there. So we've got that all prepped up, ready to go. And we got all of our home runs and all of our main circuit wires coming down, going down into the half bath and then into the back of that junction box there. Also have another exposed piece of ductwork coming through here. And it'll go right out here. We've got an ERV here, so its only purpose is to essentially bring in fresh air. So that's what we got roughed in right here with the pipes going out to the exterior of the building. So there's an intake and an output, so it brings in fresh air from outside, and then it'll drive out stale air outside as well. And that'll be controlled right here. Some other things to mention, there's a smoke detector up there somewhere. I think it's that box right there. And we've just got 6 general pot lights in this area. They're not going to be on very much because we've got all this other ambient lighting. Can't think of anything else that I need to go over. How does it look?
Fabulous.
Amazing. It was a lot of freaking work to get to this point here, guys. The guys are literally starting tomorrow. They're delivering it in the morning. But man, oh man. To get this house to this point, this has been 1 year and 3 months of my life to get it up to this point. Whew. I'm ready to move in.
Me too.
Mid-May, we should be able to actually live in here. Now, the reason why I did insulation in this wall and in the ceiling here is so that you can already tell when you walk in here how much more quiet it is. So if someone's sleeping in the bed and somebody wants to go out there and make some noise, like me, then I'm not going to wake Hannah up. So we've kind of created like a little cocoon here with insulation, and that's why we've got all this interior insulation in here. What's that?
I can barely hear you out here.
Nice. That's so good. Another reason why we did the interior insulation in here, it'll cut down on the noise that is going to come from the mechanical room. I'm going to shove some insulation in there between the ductwork and all that kind of jazz. But also if someone's taking, someone's taking a dump in here, I mean, you don't want to hear them out here. And this is like where, guests would go. That's why. I didn't do it for the upstairs bathroom because I'm never going to really be using it. So I'd probably only be using this one or the master bedroom. Anyways, guys, this is going to be by far one of the most dopest homes that you ever see. So much thought and so much care has gone into pretty well every single aspect about creating the most comfortable living space, creating a very intelligent home, automating as many processes as kind of makes sense to do so. And I'm excited to move in.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about the other day. I'm like, we're gonna actually have like basic amenities. Like you're gonna be able to like take a crap and flush the toilet. Oh my god.
We've been crapping in a bucket for 4 years, guys.
I know.
4 years.
When people hear us complain about the tiny house, they're like, you should be so grateful. I'm like, well, you try taking out a bucket full of every day for 4 years.
Well, not every day. Every 3 days maybe, but still, 2 or 3 days. Anyways, guys, if you got any questions, well, we can't change anything now. So if you're going to suggest me to change something, well, it's a little bit late for that. I saw that. Yeah. Handeeman forever. Ever.
It'll give us good luck.
Once there's drywall, everything is going to look so different and so much better.
It'll look so
It's hard to visualize how things are going to look, but I definitely can, and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Tomorrow's gonna be the best day of my life.
Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. That's full layout of the house. Gonna be badass. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.